right, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Better Podcast with yours truly, DMP Speaks. I'm so glad to be in front of you on tonight. It is a wonderful time. It's a wonderful time because it's Thursday, and Thursday is the podcast. And Thursday, this is when you spend time with me, and I spend time with you. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I hope that you're doing well. Listen, welcome again. If you don't know who I am, this is your first time. My name is David Pinksa. I'm a speaker. I am a board certified Christian counselor, and I'm a family coach. I'm a family restoration specialist. I come here every night, and not every night, every Thursday night. There we go. Every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I want to jump into this tonight on the pod. I want to talk about the topic is how we should not allow distractions to work on our family relationships. So we should be working on our family relationships without distractions. A lot of us have a lot of distractions in our way, and we want to be able to really work on our relationships. Now, I want to define distractions, okay? And the distractions is defined as preventing someone from giving full attention to something else. That's what distractions are. Preventing someone from giving that full attention to something else. So my question, if we can be honest tonight, how distracted are you in your family? How distracted are you? Where do you have your eyes fixated? Is your eyes fixated on what you and your family are working toward, the goals that you're working toward? Or are your eyes, your ears, your mind, is it fixated on other things than your family's goals? Because if we can be honest, a lot of times our eyes, our ears, our minds are not focused on what our family really needs because we are distracted. We're distracted with social media. We're distracted with what everybody else is doing. We're distracted with our jobs. We're distracted with our friends sometimes. We're distracted with other family members, if we can be honest, because our focus is not where it should be. Our focus is elsewhere. And my question to everybody is on the pod tonight, how can your family grow? How can you guys go forward if your eyes, your ears, your mind is somewhere else? Sorry, I got a little happy there. If you are so focused on something else, how can your family grow? See, sometimes we allow distractions to come in our way, but you have to do your best to rebuild that family unit. And this is what I talk about. I talk about in the morning, I talk about this in the afternoon, I talk about it in the evening. Your family dynamic, your family needs you to be focused. When you are not focused and you are focused on other things, how can your family thrive? Not just, as my pastor, not just to strive, not just to barely make it, but to thrive. How can you expect your family to get anywhere if you are not focused? For example, if I wasn't focused, if I wasn't working as much as I am, right, for my family, and I get distracted about my past. I get distracted on what my job is doing. Yes, my job is important, but after I punch that clock, I need to be focused on where my family is going, because we not only have dreams, we have goals. We have goals to accomplish. Your family has goals to accomplish. And if you take your eyes off, is it the prize? What is your prize? What are y'all working toward? Every family is working toward something, right? And you're missing moments. Let me park right here. We are missing so many great moments in our families because we are distracted. I'll say it again. We are missing on great moments of growth, conversation, right? Not just taking pictures. That's great. I'm talking about moments. I'm talking about conversations. I'm talking about moments that can't be replicated, right? Things that you used to do, but you're doing it on another level together. But if you're so distracted on what your brother said, or what your sister said, or what mom said, and what daddy said 5 years ago, how can you guys move forward if you're so distracted on your past? If you're so distracted what mom said, and I know it hurt, but if you're so distracted on what happened before, how can you as a family go together? You guys are stuck. You guys are stuck where you are. And a lot of families are like this because they're stuck where they are. They're stuck in, you can't even say they're stuck in transition because you're not going anywhere. Your family is stuck. And if we can just be honest tonight on the pod, if we can just be better on this better podcast and just be honest with ourselves. I know it don't feel good to admit that you guys are not going where you're supposed to go, but you should have visions for your children. You should have vision for your wife. You should have vision for your husband. You should have vision for your grandkids. And I know that you do. But if you guys are always, oh God, can I say this? Murmuring and complaining, and that's a distraction. If you guys are always complaining about everything, but you're not putting any solutions together, that's a distraction. Because you guys are not moving together. You're stuck where you are. You're stuck on what happened. You're stuck on what was said. You're stuck on who said this and who said that. When your kids need you, your husband needs you, you got to give your full attention to rebuilding that family nucleus. Even when an event takes place, even when life happens, you still got to not allow that to distract you. Now, because things will come. Believe me, ask me if how I know. Things came in my life that I was not prepared for. There was just something, I won't get into it, but there was something that happened in my family, our immediate family, that just happened, and it hit me like a can of bricks. And I had to make an adjustment. I had to make an adjustment, but I could not take my eyes off what's in front of me. I couldn't allow that to be a distraction. I couldn't allow that distraction to take me down. Hear what I'm saying? Not calling that person a distraction, because people can be distractions, right? Places can be distractions, things, situations can be distractions, but I couldn't let that event distract me. And it tried. I'll be honest, it tried. But I had to do the best that I could to say, yes, this thing can take my mind, but I'm not going to allow it. I'm going to keep fighting against what's trying to take me and my family down. And I talked about this in the spiritual way today, but I'm going to give you some more practical things. When your family is in jeopardy, what are you going to do? When life happens and it hits you, what are you going to do? You can't take your eyes off. You can't get out of your seat. Sometimes it's hard to do that. And you want to go, you want to run away, but you got to stay seated, because the seat that you're in is posturing you for the next thing for your family. You can't allow outside interferences to ruin what you are working on behind closed doors. Everybody doesn't have to know your business. I'll say it again. Everybody does not have to know your business. Because I almost titled this, work on your relationships behind closed doors. But I said, but there are distractions, and sometimes we don't even recognize that there are distractions. We don't realize that there are things that come in our way, that come at a moment's notice to distract us. I want to let you know that there are things that we have to pay attention to, because if we don't, we can get distracted. We can get distracted. All right. Thank you for that. And if you're interested in any of those, that's the information there. I would love to help you. Now, what we were talking about, I want to get back to this. And if you care, share this. If you want to comment, comment. If you want to comment about this, if you agree or you don't agree, you have a different thought, because the pod is changing. This Better Podcast is changing. I promise you, it's changing. It's changing. But I'm only doing this because I want to serve you better. So what we talking about? What are we talking about? We're almost done. What are we talking about? I want you to stop allowing distractions to distract you from your family. That's what we're talking about tonight. You got to stop allowing things to come in your way, to come into your family, your immediate family. I'm not just talking about your broad family. I'm talking about your household, your mother, your father, your siblings, your children, your grandchildren, your niece, your nephew, to distract you guys from going where the family is supposed to go. And when we do this, when we're not focused, we miss out on so much. We miss out on so much. We miss out on our goals. Your family should have a mission. A lot of you had it hard. A lot of you had it very hard, right? But through perseverance, education, God, the God factor, coming together, however your family came together, okay? I'm just throwing out examples. Your grandchildren, your great grands, you guys, they're changing. Your family dynamic is changing. But when we take our eyes off, when we're doing well, when your family's doing well, and we go and we retract back to things that weren't working, it can allow the future to not be seen, because we're not focused. We got to refocus our attention back on the family. Because I'll be honest, I don't know how I would have turned out if my father was distracted, if my mom was distracted, if my sister was distracted. I don't know how I would have turned out. A lot of you, if your parents or your grandfather or grandmother were distracted and they weren't giving and pouring into you, you don't even know how you would have turned out. Am I correct? And that's what I'm talking about tonight. We got to keep our eyes on the family prize. Whatever that prize is, whatever that goal is, you got to keep your eyes on that, because there is social media. See, there's nothing wrong with social media, but social media can be used in such a wrong way, right? Because again, I talked about this earlier this morning. There are elements in this world that we are not aware of that come to distract us, telling us how we're supposed to look, how the family is supposed to look. And I'm not being insensitive, right? But our families should be thriving. Our families should be growing. Your children should be growing in focusedness, in education, and growing and maturing, right? But I'm going to say this to you. Some distractions don't come looking like distractions. I'll say it again. Some distractions don't come looking like distractions. Some distractions come like some family members, but they're trying to figure out what you're doing. Some friends, they'll come trying to see what you're doing, because we can be honest, they're not working on anything, but they're coming to distract you. Your boys are coming to say, "Ah, man, come on, you ain't got to do the family thing. Come on with us. Let's go to the club. Let's go and do this." But no, I want to spend time with my wife. I want to spend time with my family. That's a distraction. Because if they're not working on certain things, they want you, because misery likes company. Misery loves company. So if they're miserable, they want to make you miserable. But sometimes we don't recognize that because we're distracted. And because we're distracted, we start to lose our momentum. We got to stop losing our momentum, because our families need everything from us. Fathers, mothers, guardians, your family need everything that you got, everything that you've been taught, even if it's good or bad. Because even the bad things, you can teach them what not to do. Your family can grow so that the things that you received that were bad, you could do the opposite. Does that make sense? So you can't allow anything to hinder your family's momentum and motivation to move forward together. You have to protect them. You got to cover them, right? Your family has too much greatness in them to achieve. You have a legacy to build. Where are my legacy builders at? Where are my legacy builders? You're building a legacy. You're building a financial legacy. You're building an educational legacy. You're building something great, and you can't allow anything to break or destroy or eradicate with your family, what you're doing with your family. Family is everything. Now, everybody has their own opinions about what family is, right? And I can't knock everybody, because everybody has their own opinion about family. What I'm saying to you from my heart, I want my family to thrive, and I know you want your family to thrive. But sometimes, if we're not careful, we can struggle when we don't have to struggle, right? We don't have to be beared down with weight, because the weight can be lifted off if we start to focus. If we start to figure out, what do we need to do as a family? What do we need to change? Is this working? Is that working? We got to be able to change that. And we got to go in the right direction. And you don't have time to waste. I'm going to say it again. You have no time to waste. It's time. We need momentum, y'all. We got to have more momentum. We need to have more momentum. As my father say, momentum. Seriously, momentum. We got to have momentum. And you can't just stay where you are. Your family is counting on you. Mom, your family is counting on you. Dad, your family is counting on you. Grandma, your family is counting on you. Uncle, big brother, big sister, they're counting on you. And you should be counting on each other. Because if you don't have your family, what do you have? Just money? That's great. You can buy whatever I guess you want to buy. I'm going to be honest. I'd rather have my family because I know if I make all this money, I'm going to be sharing it with them. I'm not going to that's just me. That's how I'm built. I can make thousands of dollars. I can make millions of dollars, right? And that's great. Woo woo. But who am I going to share it with? I'm going to call somebody. I'm gonna call somebody. I'm saying, hey, we got it. Let's roll. Let's enjoy it. Some people are in it for themselves, and that's the wrong thing to be when your family is counting on you. It's not even just finance. I'm talking about your mindset. If your mindset is off and you're so distracted, how can your family flourish? Where are you guys going? What direction are you going in if you're so distracted? So I want to end here. I'm going to end a little early. I just want to just talk to you just for a moment. And if you love what I said, I just need you guys to share this. I need you to share it, please. And thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I want to help your family. Now, I'm going to say this. And if you have any comments, put it in the comment section. I see we got a couple people on here on tonight. Thank you. And just guys, just do me a favor. Please share this on your page. Please share it with someone. I want to say this to you all. When we are distracted and we're not working on our family relationships, it's a very tough thing. And if you allow the walls that you're building, the toughness and the grit of your family dynamic to fall because you're distracted, it's hard to put the pieces back together. But I never said it wasn't doable. So maybe you're in that place right now and you're trying to figure out, how do I get my wife or my husband? How do I get my children, my grandchildren to buy into this thought? And you've been trying to do it by yourself. You've been trying to do it all by yourself, and it's frustrating. Sometimes you got this wall up, but you got another wall up. You don't want nobody to come in because you're too embarrassed. But sometimes we gotta let allow that embarrassment to go. We gotta allow those things that we try to do on our own. We know it's not working. You gotta get somebody else to help you. You gotta get some support. You gotta get some assistance, and that's where I come in. I'm that bridge gapper. I come to restore what's lost in your family because I want to be patient with your family. I want to see what the problems are, and let's work together and take time. This is not a fly-by-night organization. This is time, effort, love, compassion. The way that I love my family is the way that I'm going to love your family. The way I pour into them, I'm going to do the same thing with yours, because at the end of the day, I want to see your family become the best version that they can be. Let's grow your family. And if that's you, I want you to go to my bio and I want you to click on the link and I want you to sign up for your free 30-minute consultation call. Listen, you will not be disappointed. And I want to see how I can help you and your family and grow this family dynamic. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Check me out on Saturday at Speak Out Loud Radio Show at Fire 716. You can download the app right now on an Android in the Apple Store. Catch me in the morning at 7:30 a.m. sharp. I'm talking about 7:30 sharp for Family Morning Transformation. And again, if you're interested in the services, the Family Reconnection Program, I'm here for you. Guys, thank you so much. Share this with somebody. I love you all. Please be safe. The weekend is almost here. Enjoy your family. I will see you on the pod next week. Peace.